Yeah, and welcome to a video on timing when it comes to lead playing. First off the bat, something new with YouTube. If you want to be notified of the videos, say you're a subscriber, and you've already subscribed to the channel, make sure you click the little bell next to the subscribe button, and that'll let you know when all the videos come out, and to make sure that you keep getting the videos as they come out. And if you haven't subscribed, by all means, join us. There's a big party here. All right, so anyways, there's going to be a drum link for this little loop down below in the description box. Again, I was jamming, writing some songs, and I was like, dude, this is fun. So let's use it to work on our lead playing. So don't forget the link in the description box below, and you too will be able to jam to this track. All right, let's get into how to play lead to a drum track. All right, so check this out. First of all, let's listen to what our groove is. I got the metronome in there too, so I can be extra in time. But anyways, that's kind of where we're starting with. It's listening to what the drummer is doing. And in a band situation, my biggest concern is, assuming I know the parts really well, to the song, is listening for the drummer, especially the kick and snare. When the sound guy's like, what do you want to hear in your monitor? Kick and snare, right? Because that lets me know where I fit and can hear the groove clearly. So if we're playing off of this, it'd be good to line up some of the notes that we hit in our solos to these kick and snare. But first, let's see if we can do it with this hand. Right? So, see if you can get the rhythm going with just your hand and no notes. Then, you don't have to line up every hit you make, but in a phrase, say it's 6 or 7 notes, right? Your phrase, line up 3 of them at least with a kick and a snare hit, and then that will kind of get that pocket thing going. All right, so let's try it. We'll do a simple riff. Let me turn down this a little bit so you can hear it. Right, so I'm trying to hit with those kicks. Right, we can do a little slide riff. Right, so I'm trying to, keep the riffs really simple. You can start by just trying to go along with the hi-hat, right? The hi-hat's doing the, and it just keeps hitting those notes, right? Listen. Right? So you can okay, so you can try simply just hitting, all the time, right? Just keeping with the music. Now, the feel comes in, when you're a lot of times is the notes you don't play and the space that you create. So once you get the feel of how to stay with the drummer, just by almost playing very mechanically to the metronome or to the beat, then start to break out and see if you can line up some of those, because the beat, isn't just, if you remember the actual beat itself, it's not just straight hits, right? The kick and the snare, they happen in different parts of the beat. So check it out. Like this. Right? So you can line up hits with that. So just work with that. I mean, keep it really basic and just try let's do a 4-note cluster, right? We'll stick with, and maybe do a bend. Okay, so here we go. 2, 3, 4. Right, so I'm really trying to train myself to listen to the drummer. That's where, you learn your licks, your songs, whatever it is that you're doing. That's one part of the equation. The next part, a super important part, is being able to not only do that, get your feel, get the vibe going, but hearing the other players in the band. Sometimes, 9 times out of 10, the drummer's usually the guy with the good timing. Hence why he's the drummer, right? So where we may lack in our human metronome qualities, we need to be able to hear how to sync up with the other players. Not only that, sometimes the drummer's all over the place, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You listen to like Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, Metallica, the timing is all over the place, but they're locked in together because the musicians hear each other. And even if they're not straight on the click or the beat, the whole band moves as a unit, and that's where you want to be able to get to. Super important, again, to be able to do that with the rhythm, most important, and then in your leads. But if you can do the rhythm part, it's going to definitely bleed over into your lead playing. And since you don't have to play as many notes, or, you don't have to, it works out great. So rhythm first. Got to get good at rhythm. Use that other video, that other loop. Create your own kind of songs to this loop, right? Just go over some basic chords and really hammer in this hand, changing chords and rhythm. It's so important for lead playing. It will have a dramatic effect on your lead playing. Okay, so bending, right? We were doing some bending. Let's check out some of those kind of things. All right, so we're trying to hit off some of those beats. Another cool thing to do is try to stretch it out as long as you can, right? Some of those little inflections and stuff like that sound really good when you just hang on as long as you can, and then bam, right on the next beat, you come back in. So let's work on a little of those kind of, that feel. So, like last night, 3 hours probably went by, and I was just practicing a good 2 hours on simple G, C, D, arpeggiated, that kind of stuff with that beat, right? And then it bled over into practicing lead, and I practiced probably another hour just shifting through positions, right? We can, as soon as we get the scales underneath our fingers, then shifting from position to position in time is the next real big challenge, right? Getting those licks so they're in the pocket, in the groove, and they feel good to some sort of rhythm, right? That's the next big hurdle. So I can't stress enough, say you practice an hour a day. Say you're fortunate and you can practice an hour or more a day. I would practice, without a doubt, half of that time to either a metronome or to something way more fun, like a drum loop, which you can get, there's tons of, I think there's a company called Loop Loft. There's all sorts of companies where you can buy, already made grooves or whatever. If you have Logic or GarageBand, the drummer function in that program is incredible. You can customize your own, tracks to make them really line up with the song you're creating, and that's what I use to create a lot of my drum tracks when I do demos and stuff like that, or jam tracks. I just put, you know, manipulate the thing in GarageBand or Logic, and it's amazing. That's what this beat's from right here. So, you know, always try to start practicing to some sort of rhythm. That's, you know, a band that's in the pocket and laying down a fat groove, that gets people on the dance floor. That gets people headbanging at coliseums. It's the feel and the groove. So when you can do that in both your rhythm and lead playing, it's everything, right? So let me just wing something. I'm just going to play. I'm going to fumble. I'm going to choke. I'm going to do all that stuff. But this is kind of what I do when I practice. I'll practice different kind of licks, my hybrid picking, different, you know, 16th notes, 8th notes, triplets, all that kind of jibba jabba. Let's see what we got going on here. Right, so I've choked. Right, so you're practicing, you know, getting through the scales. You're practicing, you know, trying to get the vibrato in there, the feel in there, all to a beat. It holds you to a higher level. You have to pay attention to what's going on. And as you can hear, when you're out or you choke, you hear it, right? So you get comfortable playing to a beat, right? So when you jam with friends or any of that kind of stuff, try to get into a band. It's all going to be in the context of a groove into a beat, and you're going to have to learn how to do that. Now, obviously, some players are much better at it than others, right? Do yourself a favor. You know, I'm a freaking huge Van Halen fan. Go online and YouTube. Listen to, you know, like say Van Halen 1 or some of those. I'm just the rhythm. The guy's got the most amazing rhythm ever. Just wicked rhythm player, insane lead player. Listen to the tracks, right? And then go and listen to, they have tracks out there where you can listen to the isolated guitar track. So it's just guitar with nothing else to it. Listen to the feel that the rhythm has, that the lead has, and then listen to it in the context of the band, and you can really hear, oh my gosh, this guy is an astounding guitar player. I mean, he has everything. The feel, he plays behind the beat, makes it feel really good. You know, messes with the groove with the drummer. Sometimes he's playing ahead, behind. I mean, all over the place. And you can really hear. There's a bunch of bands. Metallica, Black Sabbath. Just type in isolated guitar tracks. And listen to what the tracks sound like by themselves without any drums. And then listen to what it sounds like when the drums are in there. And you can really hear, you know, when a person locks in with the rhythm, what it sounds like, what it feels like. And you can start to kind of learn from that. So check that out too. It's super cool. You're going to freak when you see how many tracks are out there, just isolated guitar tracks. Type in isolated guitar tracks and you'll freak. And like all from Stone Temple Pilots to Metallica to amazing stuff. But use it as a homework experiment, right? And to listen to what players sound like with feel, and you can start to translate, oh my gosh, listen to what he's doing and how it fits in the context with the groove. He's waiting to that last second or whatever, or listen to how he can perfectly pocket those fast runs or whatever. It's amazing. So timing is everything. So work on it a lot. It's super, super, super fun. Yes! Way to go. Don't forget to click the bell next to the subscription little button to make sure you get the videos as they are produced and sent to the world. world. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for the support. And if you want to support the cause, there's also links in the description box below. You can check out there. There's a website, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, one of the biggest thank yous is share the videos. If you like what you see and, you know, you want to jam with your friends, be like, hey, this is a great drum track and how to play lead. I think you should check this video out. You might like it and we can jam together. That would be awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. We'll catch you next time.